Why does every apartment listing show you 50 photos of the lobby? I don't need to see the front desk from 7 different angles.
It is true.
Because it's the only pretty part, Jeff.
Yeah, because we clean it every day.
They're like, or do you want to see this tiny white box that we're going to let you live in?
No, see, this is why we don't mess around with fluff on this segment.
All right.
We get straight to the point by asking what's on your mind, starting with Brooke. Brooke, what's on your mind?
Well, it was my son's birthday over the weekend.
Yay, older!
And I hosted the very first slumber party for him.
Oh
Which
my gosh.
Apparently, boys call sleepovers.
It's a sleepover.
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't know that slumber party was feminine.
Can
but
I
okay.
tell you how excited I was for this when you told me? I cannot wait to hear what's coming next,
Well,
Brooke.
I'll let you know, I am not a boy energy mom.
Oh.
I just don't get it. Like, I have a sister. I have an older daughter.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I have not done little boy energy because they're so sweet individually, and then they get together, and all they want to do is kill each other. Like, I don't understand. I planned, like, there was, like, an hour, so I'm like, oh, we'll do, like, create your own t-shirt, like, craft.
Boo.
I thought it would take, like, 25 minutes, right?
Yeah.
No.
5 minutes of just
Yeah.
I'm like, does no one in this room care about aesthetic?
No.
No one?
You got to hold one of the kids behind his
No.
arms and let the other kids come up and hit him.
Oh my God.
That's fun.
So then immediately they go to the living room and they're wrestling, and I'm like, hey guys, no wrestling.
Yeah. Oh, no,
And my
Brooke.
husband's like, that's not a battle you're gonna win.
No.
Yeah. Their little boy are jumping off the couch.
Yeah.
You
going
just got to
backflips.
pad the walls and all the sharp corners
Yeah.
and let them go wild.
Not
So-
even. Let them learn from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, it's just a realization that I have a lot to learn when it comes to little boys.
Did you bring out snacks and embarrass him? Sometimes a mom can do a snack break, like, "Hi, kiddos, are we ready?"
Well,
for...
they're 7 and 8, so they don't really go unparented or like I don't let them just go
she
on their
did,
old.
Jeff.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God,
She
Brooke.
did the uncool mom
What?
thing.
They're so young. I
she'll
think you're
learn.
talking about like 13-year-old boys. That's different.
I don't think they're much
Yeah.
different, bro.
Yeah.
But that's
Okay.
just me.
They are. My kids don't smell yet.
We'll all chip together and buy Brooke a book on how to correctly raise a boy. But for the
What?
meantime,
That's
Just an
not.
animal.
That's not what I was talking about.
Jose, what's
Saying
been
it's
on your
different
mind?
energy.
Well, I asked my dad recently. I was like, dude, if you and me were ever to do like a bucket list vacation,
Okay.
right? Like, what would you want to do? Where would you want to go?
Mm-hmm.
So he thinks about it, and his eyes light up, and he goes, "Oh, what if we do famous museums, Jose?"
Oh.
And I'm
Oh.
like, hey, like, that's actually great. I'm into that. And I go,
Yeah.
so what are you thinking, brother? Like the Smithsonian or something?
Yeah, right? The Louvre? What
And
do you got?
yeah, that's a good one too. He goes, oh, no. And then he brings up Amsterdam.
Okay.
He goes, I heard that they have a torture museum.
Oh.
And I go, what? And he goes, yes, you can see all of the torture tools from the whips and the guillotines. Maybe see some blood from an old queen. I'm like, oh, a blood stain from
Yeah.
the 1500s.
So your dad wants to do a death tour.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. I was
Okay.
like, I was thinking different, Dad. I didn't realize. So I was hoping he wasn't going death tour.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Then he starts listing off a few others in Europe while we're there that are solely focused on death.
Uh-huh.
He's like, we could go through
Yeah.
this one and then this one. And it's
Yeah.
just getting sadder and sadder
Yeah,
as
yeah.
he's listing it off.
Yeah.
So I realized
only pack black for your trip.
pretty much the guy who always talks about death and brings up death to me on vacation also wants to focus on death. So,
Sure.
Makes sense.
To his credit, there's not a lot of museums that are about like hugs and happiness. It's usually looking
That's
back
true.
at sad things that have happened in the past.
I mean, I guess, but I was more hoping like, oh, cool, an old pelt from,
Yeah.
back in the day.
Right.
Right.
Oh, look, there's the Mona Lisa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not like,
know?
oh, that's
it
that
was used
thing
to
killed.
smother somebody in their sleep.
Yeah, see?
It's cool. All right. Well, good luck on your museum tour.
Yeah.
Thanks, it'll be fun.
Alexis, what's been on your mind?
So over the weekend, I was back in the city I went to college at, okay? And I was
Okay.
at one of my favorite bars, Hannah's, shout out. And
Hey, shout out to
I know
Hannah's.
it's mostly still college people that go there, but I don't care because I love it. So
I
I'm
know.
going to go, okay?
Now you're looking like an old lady.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
no.
I'm there with one of my friends, and we see these two guys coming over to us, and we look at each other, we're like, not our type, and we're like, oh God, how are we gonna get rid of these two? Like, we don't want to talk to them. How are we gonna not? They come up and they're like, oh, so what are you studying at school?
Oh, they think you're still in
Yeah.
college. Oh,
And to
Yeah,
which I say,
compliment.
I was like, oh, nothing. I actually graduated a few years ago. And then they're like, oh, okay. Like, how old are you? You're not 22? And I was like, oh no, we're like 27. and the fear in their eyes.
Oh, yeah.
When I was 27, they looked so scared and ran. Like when I say physically turned, and I've never seen someone run from me faster than that. And then my friend looks at me and she's like, did they just leave us? Like, we are so out of their league. And I was like,
to compliment this, my oldest nephew's 21, and I talked to him recently. I'm like, hey, you have a girlfriend? He goes, bro, I don't know what happened. I turned 21. Girls scare me so much now. So I bet you these guys were like crying.
I don't know. I don't think they were. I just think they thought I was in college.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm a working adult.
Yeah, you're the
Right.
only one that could actually pay for the drinks in that bar.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
So you started lying about your age after that, right?
I mean, obviously, I was studying communication again after that
Okay, good. You learned your lesson.
for the rest of the night.
All right, Jeff, what's on your mind?
Well, would you guys consider me a man's man?
No.
Absolutely,
No.
Jeff.
Well,
No.
like Brooke, if you didn't know me,
Yeah.
and you just saw me out on the street, you'd probably think that dude owns a big bad truck and not what I really drive, a pastel Lexus with cream leather interior, hand
I would
stitched,
actually-
by the way.
I'd see you and I'd think that dude's gonna call his mom in the next hour.
Oh, good relationship with the family.
Yeah, sure.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, look, I released my inner man's man over the weekend.
Oh, you did?
And I worked on some projects around my house.
Okay, so what did you work on, Jeff?
I built a cabinet, assembling a desk.
Are you talking about just putting together IKEA furniture?
No, Wayfair.
Okay.
I love that site.
Yeah, high quality stuff on
Can
there.
you feel manly when you're using a little Allen wrench?
Well, the thing is, I noticed I was getting blisters from tightening everything.
Ouch.
And
For that little.
my hands were not cut out for this type of labor. So I came
You're
up with a
very supple.
brilliant business idea, perfect for women over 80 and for me.
Okay.
It's called Blue Collar Hands.
Uh-huh.
So if you need to build a desk, but your delicate digits just weren't made for screwing and tightening stuff,
Yeah.
call up Blue Collar Hands and we will send over somebody with palms so rough
Yeah.
and so calloused they will knock on your door and leave a dent.
And they won't even feel as they're
yeah.
knocking.
No.
Okay.
Their hands are numb.
I feel like my dad could do that in retirement.
Yeah.
I mean, his hands are gnarly.
I've already reached out to your dad as one of our future employees.
And he says, he's like,
So-
yeah, this finger, I lost that fingernail 4 times.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that all my co-hosts are going to throw in some seed money to help me get this
Okay.
idea off the
Oh.
ground.
Take all my money.
Can't we just call it man hands? No?
No,
Ooh, I like it.
I mean,
blue collar. It just has that feel
I
to
don't
it.
think
What
I think
about just
it's-
mans?
If you support it, text in to
I don't really like the
78592. Jeff deserves blue collar hands, and I will know that I have your support.
Okay. You just.
Hold on, I'm
all right.
texting in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just jealous because you didn't come with the idea first. Text in 78592 and tell us what's been on your mind. It's Brooke and Jeffrey in the morning.